From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on CoAngler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stout.
Good evening, everybody. This is John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here, checking in.
I can't help it. I'm sorry, man.
I thought everybody talked that way and said that. Maybe not.
Well, they do, I guess. Except
No,
where I'm from.
No, yeah, that's true. A few miles south of you. I'm just a few miles south.
Yeah, I want to apologize early tonight. We had Seabolt squad scheduled, and then all of a sudden, I had like 4 pages of shows scheduled, and now we're down to 1. I don't know what happened. A little bit of my negligence on
technical difficulties. It happens. It happens. So.
Yeah. Guys, Rick had some homemade peanut butter cookies.
There you go.
Yeah, I got about. I have some cupcakes that my wife made over the weekend. The pistachio.
Cool. Yep. Mine's got a birthday this weekend, so we're trying to figure out where we're going to eat at. So, of course, her choice, and she says, "Well, I don't know where you want to eat at." I'm like, "Well, it's your birthday." Yeah, she probably would. But anyway, hey, Rick, always good to see my boy Rick. I think he's going to replace one of us eventually because he's here more than we are. I think sometimes, but Rick,
definitely here more than I am. I had a couple medical conditions.
Yeah, he's always here. Rick's the kind of guy. If you got one call, you're in jail. You got one call. I'm gonna call that guy. So there you go.
Speaking of which, did you see the one where the guy's like, "I'll give you $1,000 or whatever if you call and they answer"?
Yeah.
911.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. So, pretty much we're gonna do something that we don't ever do tonight. We're gonna wing it and just go from there.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. Hey, it's a good thing. Well, I know John's always got stuff going on. I've got some kind of good news. I'll kind of share it a little bit. And it's a God works in mysterious ways, guys, and I'm proof of it. What happened to me here lately? So just heads up on that.
I took all my comments off, so I can't see them. So
okay,
I won't be touching them.
Yeah. Rick and Malo just laughed.
Yeah.
You're my guy, Rick. You the man.
You are the man. Actually, I was. He contacted me, and I'm trying to get in touch with one of his friends to be a guest on our show.
Oh, cool. Hey, if Rick recommends them, 100%, we got to have them on.
The problem is, I lost the sheet where I wrote his guy's contact info. So, Rick, shoot me another message with the guy's contact info.
Yeah, it happens.
Guys wants to be a professional fisherman, and he's a police officer as well.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. I was got to respect that because we know how many hours he puts in. So, mad respect to him there. Yeah, I got a boater link that actually, he works for Lexington PD and he's in forensics. And he's been in with them for like 20-something years. And pretty cool job. He was telling some stuff. But pretty cool gig.
Yeah, it is. If anybody has any questions they want us to talk about, any answers,
there is Mr. Sidepot himself, Mr. Sidepot winner, James Wheatley.
All right.
Big winner at the Dale Hollow event. So congrats, buddy. You beat me. You beat me, and hey, can go to a better guy. So congrats, buddy.
Yes.
Just had one of those tournaments.
My screen is all wonky today.
Huh. They look good on my end. Yours is clearer than mine, looks like.
I don't know. Trying to figure this out, though.
There you go.
All right. We'll see if this works for us.
Yeah, I did the blurry background. It seemed like it don't blur out as bad, so I've been trying that last couple times.
Yes, I noticed that last night. You know, I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty quick on the uptake. You know, you've probably been doing it for 3 weeks.
No, I just did it a couple times. And there's our friend there, Mr. Andrew. Hey, what's up, Andrew?
Hey, Andrew. Like I said earlier tonight, we had a mix up or something happened, and we lost half of our programs, and we're going to be putting them back on the show. And one thing I want to do, I keep telling myself, you're going to do it tonight. You need to do it. Is thank Elvin over the American Angler Outdoor Network. He's hot on it, boy. He's doing some shows, getting guests, getting things going on over there, and he's actually does the streaming of our show on the JCX channel. So I don't give him enough love. And,
oh yeah, Alvin does a great job. I mean, he's got and he just keeps adding shows and channels. Alvin, hats off to you, brother. You do a great job. We appreciate you.
I just wanted to say thanks, and thanks for everything you're doing for us, and we greatly appreciate it.
Definitely.
All right. So
there was something I was going to talk about. I noticed there was a tournament down on was it Lanier? It was a Tournament Anglers Association where they had no live scopes, kind of an old school tournament, but they had some big names like Polinick, of course James Watson, and so I'm interested. Some rich guy was putting it on or something, but that's kind of an interesting, like old school. Yeah, Lanier. Yeah, Andrew's right, Lanier. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, you beat me to the punch. I didn't see that comment just then, but that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes, but that's just another avenue.
Is that the one that I saw come across my phone, backed by some Saudi Arabian people? And
no, that was an April Fool's, dude. Yeah, Andrew's right. It was no practice, no scope, no waypoints. Yeah. But that's a pretty interesting concept. I bet we'll see more of that. Hey, Andrew, they got any more events scheduled, or is that the only one and they're going from there? I didn't see they had anything else scheduled, or if that's kind of a one-off. So I didn't see anything on that. But that's an interesting concept. I like it.
It is. And doesn't your boat have to be from the 70s?
I don't think they've done that yet, but I know some guys around here, they got some Rangers probably would qualify for that. Yep. There's some old guys at 361, 371s. There's some 80s boats still running around.
Yep. Speaking of that, my buddy has, I want to say, one of the old 364s.
Yeah, good old boats.
Yep. And one thing he said that was neat with Ranger is they track each boat, all their boats.
Oh.
You know, and his boat was actually in one of the Bassmaster Classics.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andrew says there will be more. I'm assuming they wanted to see the turnout and fan base.
Makes sense. Well, hope they do. That is pretty interesting concept, and so they got some heavy hitters in it. So pretty interesting. Sounds
like it's the old Bassmaster Classic. Get on an airplane and find out where you're going in the morning.
Yeah. I said no practice. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see a couple tournaments like that throughout. And well, MLF had it when they first started. You know.
Yeah, that was a neat concept. So they kind of got away from it a little bit, but I like to see TAA succeed for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd like to see them all succeed, but I don't know. There's some parts of some organizations that aren't being run correctly, in my opinion. You know, we're not going to discuss that.
Yeah, I keep hearing talk about a seniors league or something. Actually, there's a local tournament trail here locally that's doing a seniors thing, but it's weird. It's in the summer and it's at night. I'm like, wait a minute. You got to be 55 and above, but you're going to have a tournament at night? I don't know. That's kind of a bad mix. We can't see anyway in the day, and we definitely can see at night. So I don't know. Maybe go off good.
Like you said, you got guys who can't see in the daytime driving boats at night.
There's a boy Barker Rigger shaking in. Said,
y'all don't get off that easy. I'm late, not a no show. Well, we appreciate it because
You
We
good,
love to
brother?
see
You good?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on storm number 3 to blow through, so I'm good.
Yeah, we haven't gotten it today. I was kind of wondering how Jennifer and Dustin and Muse made out today because they were supposed to get what, 15 inches or something like that.
Oh yeah, it got hairy here like early this morning. Then the sun come out, and then it stormed again, and so
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, guy in his 70s, he believes. Whew.
I know. Yeah, I hear you, man. I know the feeling.
Yeah, we're all wide open, but no, for those of you who are late, Barking Rugers, something happened with our StreamYard where half of our programs got dismissed.
Vanished.
So, yeah, because I mean,
but
we're
technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. We'll go through it, so we'll be good.
Yeah. It's just like a backlash, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's right. But talking about old guys, there's a guy that makes my favorite spinnerbait up in Ohio, Tim Poe. I think he's in his 80s, and some of the young guys up there say, "Oh yeah, he still fishes night tournaments and talks smack on us." Which gotta love that guy in his 80s, building spinnerbaits in his garage and talking smack on the young guys. So gotta love that dude.
Yeah, my mentor, and he was up there. He was in his 90s when he passed, and
Dang.
I said to him because he used to make his own fishing rods. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Can you make me one?" He looked at me. He goes, "Nope." I was like, "What?" It threw me back. He's like, "If you want one, make it yourself." So I'd go to his house and he taught me how to build.
Oh man, you can't beat that. Hey Rick, I love the 361, man. That's one of my favorite boats still. Love the 361s. Still a lot of them around.
Got DQ'd in the classic, he said.
Wow.
Ash Nelson, hey Josh, how you doing? It's just Rob and I tonight. Just filling up some space. You have any questions for us? Don't be afraid to ask. We're pretty much open books.
Yep. And we'll give you an answer, whether it's right or wrong, we'll still give you an answer.
Yeah. You say one thing, I'll say the other one will be right.
Yeah, we'll hit it. Instead of like shooting with a rifle, we hit with a shotgun. So we'll be okay.
Bird shot.
But
throw it up against the wall and see what sticks.
Yep. But yeah, I know, John, you hadn't had any tournaments yet. I've had 3 or 4 now. I've lost count. But anyway, the last Dale Hollow is pretty interesting. I know James can kind of go. And on Friday, had a good practice. I was throwing a jig. I caught 2 pretty nice ones, and we was up the river. And I was fishing my boater link, which I've never had a chance to practice. So I got to practice with him. Had a good day, and he had a Ranger. It's a little newer Ranger, I think a 2017. Anyway, good boat. And so Saturday comes around, and I get paired with a guy I fish with at Guntersville. I'm like, oh, cool. So we go way up river, and I mean, we were so far up the river, I bet it wasn't 4 foot of river between on each side of the boat and about a foot deep. We went far back as we could, and he caught a few. I think he had a limit, and I missed one on a jig. I mean, it literally, it took it. I felt it bite, and it started running with it, set the hook, nothing. So I don't know if it grabbed the tail or didn't have the hook. So it happened. So, and then day 2, I felt sorry. It's a great guy. I mean, he was a live scope guy, and he was cool. He was a laid back, and so he was. We was in 80 to 100 foot of water, which I'm lost. I tried a rig. I tried swim bait. Just didn't any good. We get close to shore, I'd throw out a jig or Carolina rig. But anyway, at the end of the day, he said, "Hey, I netted 2 or 3 of his fish, and actually they come off in the net. I had the net under it, and I thought he was going to hug me, but he literally was throwing 4-pounders back, and he had about, according to his Rapala scale, about 23 pounds. And he said, "Hey, I got a spot right before we go to weigh in. There's a little cove that's always got fish. We'll get you a few fish and let you get some points." I said, "Hey, it's all I need." So of course, then he starts cranking the motor, click, 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 click. Oh, man. So he goes back here, changes his batteries around, still nothing. And time we figured out, I called the tournament director, say, hey, we're broke down. He said, well, you got to get somebody to get your fish. I said, well, we're 20, 30 minutes away from weigh-in. Our weigh-in's like in 5 minutes. So,
yeah.
But anyway, but he was cool. He didn't say a cuss word, didn't get mad, didn't throw stuff. He was like, and he found out later his buddy won it. He's like, hey, my buddy won it. It was his time. Dude was cool as heck. You know, I still had a good day with him. Learned a bunch of stuff. But, yeah, he had enough. Yeah, he had 22. I think 22.8 won it, and he had 23. So if he wasn't first, he'd have been close second. So
yeah,
he's won there before, so he's a hammer.
Yeah, but, so since you're fishing so shallow, why didn't you try punching?
No, it wouldn't work. I said I got close to shore. I threw out the jig. I said, okay, I'll get a jig fish. Nope. But yeah. The co-angler he had the day before said, well, he's in that deeper water, but he was catching them about 4 to 10 foot, right in that range. And said the co-angler before tied big bass on a A-rig. I said, all right, I got A-rigs. And I threw an A-rig to my arm, fell off. Nothing. I changed A-rigs. I went from spinners to no spinners. Changed my baits a couple times. Just wasn't there.
Yeah. Did you try that new one you showed me the other day?
Yep. I tried it. Yep. I threw about 3 or 4. I did blades, no blades, that little mini desert rig. It's got the 2 arms and the 3 little teasers. Right. I didn't have what they wanted, I guess. I don't know. But, hey, sometimes it happens.
Yeah. When it's your time, your time. When it's not, it's not.
Yep. You just keep on grinding.
What trolling motors are we talking about?
Must be talking about the power pole, the new power poles. I know power poles got a new one.
Yeah, they got a new one out, yeah.
I have not seen it or had a boat that's had it on one, so can't comment on that yet.
That'll be a good question for Kevin with K&K Customs because he's a power pole dealer. And
oh, okay.
Yeah. He does all that stuff, so. Oh,
yeah, Ghost, the rest. Ghost, self did be pretty good. I've had a few boats with the Ghost on there.
Yeah, same.
But I hadn't had the power pole.
Just like everything else, they had in the beginning they had a rough go, but they got a lot of the kinks fixed. And the fish at Sunset Marina wasn't big enough for a man to win, but numbers were there.
Yeah, it's a good area. Now I've done good past Sunset, where the river kind of turns and does a little curve. I've done good on Shaky Head back in there. Andrew, good point. I did try a spoon the week before there on some docks. My boater was fishing. I tried the James Watson spoon where it goes up under the docks, but I didn't catch anything. But when I literally, as soon as I pulled out of the water, I had 2 or 3 strike at it. I was like, okay, top water. Through top water, nothing. So I was in a weird mood that day. But I have tried the spoon before, and I don't know, just wasn't on it that day, I guess.
That's all right.
It happens, but I'll keep on grinding. I'll find them. I said at least I got a big bass trophy for this year. So
Barking Hoovers has that 35-year-old motor guide.
Hey, it does have a steel shaft, so I've seen a lot of guys break off that plastic. I've seen them forget they come in to weigh in and they got the trolling motor down and crack. Oops.
Yep.
Oops. So yeah, I've seen some go badly, to say the least.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, the older motor guides are a decent one.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago or so. I think they took a downturn, but
early 2000s. I know that was that thing to have. I remember.
Now I know you mentioned a couple times James Watson. Are we allowed to mention him?
Yeah, I think we can't mention him and BPT and MLF in the same sentence. Okay. But I was marshal for him at one time at a FLW. I can say FLW because they was different anyway.
Right.
I was marshal for him at FLW Cumberland in 2018. I was co-angler I knew I was last year doesn't have co-anglers in FLW, so I did First 2 days of CoAngler, third day, I said, hey, I'm going to go Marshall. And I never forget, everybody knows Bill Taylor. And Bill Taylor was great guy, tournament director. And I never forget, I come up to get my pairing. He says, Rob, you got James Watson, and I'm sorry. He said it just like that. It was funny. But, okay. Andrew, I guess he wants to know about the Will Watson thing.
Honestly, the best thing to do is listen to him talk.
Yep.
And because there's not been, there was the official press release from Mountain Malaf, which was pretty bleak, you know, pretty wide open. And I give them credit. They said they didn't say exactly everything that happened because it's nobody's business but them and James. And I'm sure if you see James, I think he's on Monday on Luke Duncan's podcast.
Yep, he is.
Yep.
And that kind of what got him into trouble, I think. Well, I think him and the owner of MLF's had a beef for a long time, and James, being James, kind of poked the bear, and I guess he poked too much.
With his new apparel lineup, I think.
Yeah.
Had something
that didn't help. That didn't help. But.
No. But anyways, that's about as much as we're going to talk on that because I don't want to give any fifth and sixth hands information. Let them handle it. They're all adults.
It's still a bad deal on both of them, I think. I think it's bad. It's a bad deal. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. But no, you were talking about you were a marshal for him. I was up on Oneida Lake, fished the first 2 days of
exactly, James. That's an understatement.
That's one of those old WWF cage match brawls right there.
Loser leave town match. That's what we need to have between them two. Just saying.
Yep. But no, Chris Bowes, when he was up there and he was tournament director, and he goes, all right, Stoulinger, who do you want? Or pick a number 1 through 10. I'm like, well, number 4 is my favorite number. Pick number 4. He goes, well, I got some bad news for you. I go, what's that? He goes, you're with Polinick. And I go, I go, what would have happened if I'd have picked my second favorite number? He goes, 8. Or my 8. He goes, well, you'd been with Ike and Ellie. Well, you can't lose with either of them, But no,
that's a win-win. Yeah, I remember. I did the Marshall thing at Douglas, the Bass Opens at Douglas a few years ago, where final day didn't have CoAngler, so I was like, "Hey, I'm already here, got the cabin, and my partner," and I said, "I'm gonna go ahead and do Marshall thing," and I got Heron's son,
okay,
and he did, and he did pretty good, and I felt sorry for one guy had a Poche. And that's when he had his little 16-foot aluminum boat, and he made a long run, and he had the guy like sitting backwards facing him. I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get him that day.
Man, that's that boat Barking Rugers keeps talking about.
No, that's before he had the Gator Tracks. It was the boat before the Gator Track. Yeah, it was his uncle's old boat, but he fixed it up, but yeah, it was a little 16-foot boat basically. And but definitely,
Wheatley says most I've ever learned on the water was the Toyota on Kentucky Lake, fifth day with Mike McClellan. Yeah,
Marshall, you don't have to worry about. You just sit back, watch them, ask questions. It's let's say if somebody's wanting to get in tournaments, that's the best way. Kind of get behind the scenes and see how things run. That's what But 100 years ago, when they didn't charge to be a marshal, I did FLW Cup for a couple years. I did a Bass Open, FLW, so I got a little bit of taste of a little bit of everything. But definitely an eye opener. So,
$100 to watch somebody fish, I guess isn't too bad for 2 or 3 days.
No, it ain't. I think on Bass Open it's top 10 or 12. So you're with the top guy and you see exactly what they're doing. Like I said, I learned a lot about deep cranking that time on Douglas. He was whacking them.
Yeah, you don't pay for that one either.
Yeah,
that's a volunteer thing. So
yep.
He fished the the Toyota fished the Poche one out of the boat up the river.
Yep. Yeah, he's fearless.
I know Poche had that gator tracks on James River when I fished down there probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
And we were like, man, I hope he's not going.
Yeah, James. I keep looking for is a net. Boater get a fish. I'm like scrambling for a net. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't net. So that too.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Now Rick's bringing up old school tournaments. I know a bunch of guys from the Red Man from the Mountain Division here in the BFLs. There's a bunch of old hands that was in Red Man. So yeah, I hear a bunch of stories on the Red Man stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I fished one Red Man tournament on Cayuga Lake. I think I weighed in 2 fish for 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds, something like that. I don't know, years ago. Wanted to see what it was about. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
And then, that was before, boy, was that before Walmart took it over?
Yeah, I think it was late 90s, mid 90s. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, late 90s. Late 90s when I think it was like
98 maybe.
No, it was let's see, I got married 87, 88. No, I didn't. I got high school out of 87.
I'm about to say, man, I graduated 87. God. I'm about to say we're the same age, man. Wait a minute now.
No, I got married in 99, so it must have been around 99, 2000 I fished it.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right. It was late 90s, I remember.
Yeah. And Flax was after Red Man.
I think you meant FLW. So, yeah, that's correct. That is correct, sir.
James Wheatley, boat captain for Nice's High School Regional in a couple weeks on Cumberland. Going to be tough not to fish that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool being the boat captain, though. Yeah, Andrew said FLW. I kind of figured that, man.
Yeah, we figured that.
Yeah. But talking about boater draws, I drew a guy that I think I fished in like 2007 because I got paired with him. I said, God, that sounds familiar. And of course, I looked it up and I said, yeah, I fished with that guy before, like in 07. And it was like a BFL on Loudon Teleco the week after an FLW. And I kid you not, every fish we caught was like a half inch short. And I caught one long, skinny fish that measured. And, but he was a cool guy. He's, I remember. But that's pretty cool. And it's funny, he'd not really fished any BFL since then. So he was a local, knew the lake, North Lake. And I knew about the BFL. So we teamed up. It was kind of cool. Because I knew how to the BFLs run, and he knew about the lake. So he caught a good limit, and so I caught one that counted. I got the big fish for today on the coast side. So that's pretty cool. And he was more excited and happier than I was, I think.
Yeah, and I'm like that for my boaters too. I get excited for them, and I've mentioned before Gunnersville. Went down and fished the Toyota Championship and. I stayed right away from my boater.
Yeah.
He had 20 pounds in probably 15 minutes. I'm like, nope, I'm not touching you.
No. But yeah,
it's
a lot of it. Oh yeah, it is. And I said, go in like you're a team, and like you're netting fish. I mean, if you go in not as a competitor with him, but as a team member, help him do whatever, it does help, makes the day go by really well. And they appreciate it in the day.
Oh, yes. And I always, I tell them, well, since there's a CoAngler section tonight, whatever's in my tackle bag, you're more than welcome to use.
Yep.
And usually they reciprocate.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh. Yeah, that guy had on Norris, actually, he was catching him on a little crankbait, and he says, here. And he gave me a rod, the exact same crankbait and everything. So that was pretty cool. Of course, I didn't catch anything, but he did. He's cranking, and he caught some catfish line, and he course, he pulled up, cut it, put it in his garbage. 3 casts later, he caught another line. He says, no way that can be the same line. So he says, it feels funny. So he pulls it up, and I kid you not, there's a half-inch jig and a 12-inch spot still on it. But he already had his limit. So he's like, I don't know if that's a legal fish or not. I mean, I already got my 5, so he threw it back. I was just weird. Pulled it in, there's a jig and a little 12-inch spot still on it. And I said, I wonder how long that fish had been that way. But that was, I've never had that happen before. That was weird.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I've had.
I think the only thing I've had weirder than that is we was actually in a team tournament down in Cherokee one time. Or no, it was Douglas. And my buddy practiced the week before, and he lost a DT6 on a standing timber. Well, he goes crank same spot again, hangs up, breaks, pulls free, and he had actually hooked the same DT6 he got stuck in where the line tie is. Had it hooked. So he had 2 DT6s coming back. I said, what chance? I said, dude, you got to get a lotto ticket or scratch off or something, because that never happens. Yep. Especially get it in the eyelet where you tie to. That was a trip.
That was crazy. I was fishing with, Andrew says, when I was a co-angler, my favorite draw was Mike Kiso. Drew him 3 times, won a super, got top 20, finished behind him. He just won Harris chain. He's always around them.
Oh, yeah, he's a stick. Yeah, he's a stick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Center Hill's pretty cool lake. I fished it for the first time last year, so yeah, that's a pretty cool little lake.
Y'all need to come up here and see. I'll talk a little bit like Rob. Y'all need to come on up here.
Yeah, I got it on the bucket list, man. I'll get up there eventually.
Yeah,
but Center Hill is pretty. It's right outside of Nashville, so it is pretty late.
Yeah, I've been in Nashville once. It was around Christmas time. I stationed at Fort Campbell. Took a weekend trip to Nashville for the weekend. It was between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and saw the Grand Ole Opry and the hotel and all that. And boy, that I've never seen Christmas lights like that.
Oh yeah, it was unreal back in the day. Yeah, I've actually worked on Fort Campbell a couple times. It was like a military courthouse and then a regular courthouse. I had to work on the regular courthouse, but it's easy to get. They look just the same almost. So I had to go to one and say, hey, am I at the right one? Which one's which? But and they had all the World War II planes out there. That was pretty cool. The old C-130s, airborne and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was weird because my barracks was in a dry county. But across the street, I could buy the alcohol to bring to my barracks.
Oh yeah. That's how it was in South Mississippi. We could, like, I was border where I lived at. The border, our county border was Louisiana state line, and you couldn't drink 21. You could drink in Mississippi, go across Louisiana and get 18, or if you need the right place, a little younger than that. But that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah. And I almost got in trouble because I just come back from Germany. In Germany, if you can crawl, you can drink.
Oh, yeah.
So I get back. I'm not thinking about it. And I'm like, hey, come on over. Have a couple drinks in my room. Well, I forgot to check people's ages. It got people 19, 20 drinking in my room. I'm like, oh, better not.
I know nothing.
Yep. That's okay. But no. James Wheatley, y'all always done co-angler. If y'all boater, just do co-angling now. Well, I don't know how to address that answer because I've never had a boat, but I've always, like in the club, I shouldn't say always. The last couple of years, I club fish. I'd always have some boaters say, take me here, take me there. You run the front. You do this, you do that. So I guess I could say as a boater.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of team tournaments, but mostly co-angling. And said 100 years ago, when I was back in Mississippi, I had my own little boat, but it was tiny. And my granddad had a little John boat, so I fished local lakes and ponds and skip school a lot and went fishing, but that's another story for another day.
Yep. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess one of the reasons why I enjoy the co-angling aspect of it is, you don't have to worry about a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, practice. That's the biggest thing. You don't have to worry about practicing, getting there a week before, getting there the weekend before. You just show up and fish. I mean, I practiced that last tournament the Friday before, and of course, both my boaters did something kind of different. But one of my co-angling idols, Gary Haraguchi, which we need to have on. I need to get a hold of him. He just shows up. He just shows up the day of and just whacks them. I mean, that guy's. I don't know how hundreds of thousands of dollars he's won, but it's quite impressive. That dude is a stick.
Yeah. Well, just like Brian knew before he, got to the front of the, when he was there, you knew you were going for 4 places out of the top 5 because he was going to be in one of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Andrew pulled code for a long time, tried being a boater, and so far it worked out. Well, good for you.
Cool. Yeah, it's a big jump, man. Congrats. There's a lot of guys that struggle. So, man, if you did the jump and you're successful, man, that's awesome. That's it's not easy. But eventually I'll make the jump. I'll make the jump over eventually. Just
we had what?
Right time.
Trevor McKinney come on. He fished 1 or 2 tournaments as a co and decided it wasn't for him, so he got a boat and decided to go to the front.
Yep. But that's our eventual goal. We'll get there. It's just times are kind of weird and boat prices are out the roof. But I'm starting to see the used boat prices kind of settle down a little bit, so I think it's getting there. But I like John. I won't be buying no $150,000 to $200,000 Icon anytime soon.
No.
Unless I'm going to sleep in it because I'll be divorced. But that's.
Hey, I have a garage, man.
No, that's true.
He's going to give Music City. Congrats.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. Yeah, I agree with you there. And plus, you go to Dale. I mean, Music City, you go to Dale at least once, maybe twice. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, good luck, man. I hope you do well. I know you will.
Yep. You mentioned fishing with the same guy a couple times. I fished Toyota Series. Guy named Jay Berger out of New Jersey. He's a police state trooper, I think.
Yeah.
And I was up fishing the Toyota Series with him, and he's Carolina rigging, and I'm drop shotting, behind him. I set the hook. I got a fish, and I caught a fish that broke him off the day before.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, and the only reason I know is because it was a custom bait that he had, and I showed him the bait. He goes, "Yep, that was my fish from the day before." I said, "Do I get to weigh the 1 ounce weight in here too?"
Hey, just asking for a friend.
Yeah. And then about a month later, I drew him at a BASS event. So, Andrew Custom Checks qualified for a regional out of an 18.8 aluminum Triton with a 115. Yeah, you're right. Most. Yeah. I've seen.
Those little Tritons are tough. I've looked at a couple of them, and they're good little boats. I mean, they're just almost like the Ranger. They've got a few more bells and whistles, but those are good little boats. Everybody I talk to, they either has a Triton or a Ranger. Good boats. I've never heard any negatives. So that's a good little boat, man, for sure. Congrats.
Yeah, you hear people talk about, well, you got to have a 18 or a 20-foot boat with a 250. I'll tell you what, I've never casted a line going 70.
No.
Paid for and you can afford to fish it. That's it right there.
Thumbs up. That's perfect, man. You can't beat that. I know I had a buddy last year, I think it's at Dale Hollow. I guess they had more coes and boaters, which don't happen anymore. But Co said, "Well, I'll go home and get my boat and I'll fish as a boater." It's okay, yeah, you can do that and we'll get you in. and he showed up with like a 16-foot tracker with a 40. And my buddy got paired up with him, and I seen him at takeoff, and I seen him come back. I said, "Well, how did you a speed racer do?" He said, "About got swamped on takeoff." I said, "Yeah, I was afraid so." You got a little bit something bigger than 16.
Speaking of getting swamped on takeoff, my very first ever tournament, back in 1994. We local bar. We're like, hey, let's do a bass tournament because a lot of us fish.
Yep.
And we borrowed my buddy's brother's bass boat. It was probably like a 361. Like a 16 footer with a 115 maybe on the back of it and everything. And you had everything from a John boat to pontoons.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a shotgun blast.
Yep.
All of a sudden everybody took off, and then me and my buddy are just idling out. We turn around and here's this one guy we both went to high school with standing in the water, boat sunk.
Oh no. Oh.
We went over, we helped him, and of course they called the police department. Police department had to come in, and it's going to get a little unchild friendly here.
Yep.
The police officer says to him, "Come on, you got to come out of the water. Got to talk to you." And he says, "Not right now. I got gas in my crack of my ass and it's burning. I'm not coming out here until the burning's gone."
Oh my goodness. Woo. That's not good. That's not good.
So later on that night, we asked, we were at the bar and picking on him, and
don't be smoking around that dude. That's one thing I tell you.
My buddy says to him, "Hey, hope you didn't eat any beans for lunch. You might have a claim for him."
Ooh. Oh man. That's classic, man. That's funny. Woo. But I did see something weird. I made the Eufaula regional, BFL regional last year, and I saw some guy from Florida. He had a center console boat, and the CoAngler seat was like in front of the center console. I'm like, that'd be a little weird, but
yeah,
I mean, he made it. Hey, he made it.
Hey, I guess if a bird's gonna fly up and hit you, it's gonna hit the CoAngler, not the
motor. Yeah. Hope he had a mask or a safe face or a helmet like I do. You never know.
Yeah, I do. Years ago, I looked at that CDC that Nitro came out with.
Yep.
They had the center console, and that looked sharp. But man, I don't know how that would be.
A lot of saltwater boats that way. I had a lot of buddies in high school. Their dads had center consoles, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We, me and my buddy, we mostly fished with one of those 16-foot bluefins, and it was nice.
Yep.
Andrew, I've been in that too. A lot of Florida guys fish inshore.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
A lot of red fishing guys, especially. I know a lot of red fishing guys in Louisiana. Love them.
Hand controlled saltwater edition trolling.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I didn't get a close look, but I did see it. Yeah, he saw it.
No, I had a buddy who, he passed away, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And he had the old hand controlled motor guide.
Yep.
And he put an extension bar on it with a strap that he could attach to his leg.
Oh, hey.
So he, being up here, sometimes the weather's not the best.
Yep.
So he says, well, that helps stabilize me in the boat. And I'm like, well, good for you.
Hey, works for him. Hey, hats off to him.
Yep. I mean, as long as the owner of Gambler Baits runs a lake and bay.
Yeah, he fishes a lot. I see him a lot down there. He fishes everything down there. Good.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Makes some good baits too, by the way.
Yeah, he does. That was that Gambler Ace, that Cinco top bait is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Good stuff.
Tons of consoles and bass tournaments. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can imagine.
Does Ranger still make the dual console that you can take out and screw in? And because I'm
sure they do. I know Nitro used to. Nitro used to. I don't know if they still do or not. Nitros used to.
Nitros, yeah, because there's a.
Yep, Val. That's right. I couldn't think of the guy's name. I had old man brain from it. Yeah, Val. Val Olsinski. Yeah, Val's a good dude, man. Yeah, Fat Ace. That's a fish catching machine right there. I guarantee you.
Yeah, we had a couple guys up on Lake Champlain come back with the dual console sitting next to him. Got a little too rough in the console. Yeah, and the console fell off.
Not good.
No.
Not good. Not good.
No, I remember I don't remember, but years ago they had a tournament up here on Seneca Lake, which is 10 minutes down the road from me. They took off at the southern end down to Watkins Glen. You know, if you're a race fan, you probably know about Watkins.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Gotta love the sunroof. Years ago,
yep.
they had a tournament, and probably 75% of the people went to Cayuga Lake. And that's when you could lock through.
Yep.
Of those 75%, about 5% returned. The lake got rough. Yeah, lake got so rough that they're tearing boats apart. I think almost half the field didn't fish day 2 because their boat was tore up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to do that here in Tennessee. Like used to, if you had a tournament on Watts Bar, of course, everybody would lock through to go Chickamauga. Well, now they won't let it. You can't lock through to Chickamauga, or you can't go Chickamauga or Watts Bar. So something about invasive species or something. But yeah, they like year before last, I think they started that. So
yeah, I think
definitely changed the landscape on those tournaments.
I think New York started that because they put a thing in where you can't lock through in tournaments. And because they don't want fish being dropped from one body of water to another, even though they're all connected.
Yeah, that's what Tennessee Wildlife said, which maybe I don't know. Yeah, they're both sister lakes, so
yeah. You know, it like a fish caught on Oneida Lake can't swim through the locks to get to a different body of water. You know.
Yeah, I mean tugboats and like barges go through Chickamauga Dam. I mean it's. And then when they have football season, of course, there's 1,000 boats goes to Tennessee Stadium and all, but I don't know. I guess the biologist thing. Football, they have the Vault Navy. They'll go from Chattanooga all the way up Tennessee River to Knoxville, and they'll have they call it the Vault Navy. But yeah, I used to work souvenirs on that end where the Vault Navies come in, and they spend the money. They spend the money.
Oh, definitely. Probably the most popular thing is alcohol too.
Yeah, I it's funny you say that because I got friends with some of the cops on there, and like the college kids, a lot of them have come through there, and they had one guy had like a was it Slash, had the big Slash hat, and I never forget this cop like one hand he took his hat, and the other hand he took like a fifth of Jack Daniels. They're like dook dook. They put it in this big barrel, and it was just full of liquor. All the kids and all that. And it was like flask and everything. But it's funny though. And then behind there was like a couple elevators goes to the press box and the high dollar. And there was like kegs of beer stuff going up. I'm like, I guess it's who you know and how fancy your suite is. But yeah, there'd be kegs of beer going up to the suite. So I'm like, oh well, it is what it is.
Now for all you guys on here, Rob, we're almost 50 minutes in.
I know, man. It's been a blast. We appreciate all the comments and questions, man. We like you guys. We like talking fishing out it. Yeah. Just had a rumble of thunder, so that was that noise.
Is that you sure it's thunder, not the missus saying, get back here?
No. That's thunder. It's right behind me. And rolling back through. But
yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate all you guys, especially all the guys like Rick and James that tune in every week. Andrew, I mean, you guys, man, y'all rock. But
can't forget Joe.
Yeah,
but,
so now I got my bass, bucks, and birds.
There you
My
go.
Zach Rushing. I love Zach Rushing, man. He's back from my kind of my home area, so South Mississippi. But y'all get a chance, look up Zach Rushing. He's a trip. Comedian. He's a trip.
I got my work hoodie on still.
Oh, there you go.
So, okay.
Oh, we got Rick. Rick asked your question, man. He just beat you. I'm about to replace you with Rick now. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, that's all right. He can figure. Hey, Rick, come on here and figure out this StreamYard stuff. All right? Why
there you go. There you go. He probably knows it better than both of us. Okay, Rick. Mine just plain Jane, old fashioned chocolate chip cookie. I love it.
All right, I'm my wife's favorite or least favorite cookie to make. Sugar cookie. She doesn't like it. No, how about you guys? I've been trying to talk to you guys, try to figure out and stuff. What's y'all's favorite? Is that Southern? Y'all's?
Yeah, there you go. and no snickerdoodles. Snickerdoodles is off the menu. Off the menu.
What are y'all's favorite cookies? Rob says, "Come on, Rick. What's y'all's favorite cookie?"
Was telling about. Well, that's interesting what Jennifer's saying. Her was it
Frosted Flake?
Frosted Flake. I was like, man, that's pretty interesting.
I'm gonna have to send her a message and say, "Hey, where's my recipe?"
Andrew's my boy there. Andrew's my boy.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm with you, Andrew.
Where's Andrew from? He can't be from down south. He sounds like he has too much sense.
I think he's down from Florida way. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that half of Florida is part of New York, so.
Yeah, I guess it's his own country almost.
Yeah. All the smart New Yorkers move south, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I was right. Hey, I took a guess. Yep. Florida, one of the few. Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
I do like the Panhandle area. I got some family that was from the Funiac Springs, way over there in the Panhandle. So I love that area.
Yeah. No, I told you before that my brother and I, my first wife wanted a trip down to Florida back when Faye's drugstore was around. She was top 50 volunteers of the year.
Oh, wow.
And, top 50 women volunteers of the year. And she wanted a trip. And we knew it was a good hotel because that's where the Yankees stayed when they were playing.
Wow. High dollar.
High dollar item. Yeah. Got to meet a couple of the Yankees while I was there. And my brother and I rented a boat, went on Seminole Lake. It was just not the big one that you hear about in Georgia, but the small one down out around Tampa.
Yep.
We're fishing along, and all of a sudden I see something didn't look right. I cast over to it. Being in New York, thought it was a tree. Nope. Came up a little higher, and I saw more. I saw it was a gator. I'm like, okay, let's go to the other side of the lake, brother. Let's go to the other side of the lake.
I'm out.
Yep.
Hey, Andrew's a native Florida. Hey, that's all right, man. I love Tampa. I went down there last year. My wife had a conference and got to tour around Tampa a little bit, and it was pretty cool.
Yep. My brother used to live in Largo, right outside of Tampa.
Yep. Know them very well. I think we stayed at Indian Beach, Indian Beach, I think. Pretty cool area.
And I ended up going on a redfish charter down there. And I asked the concierge and, hey, I want to do a fishing charter. And so I went, and Rick's scoping out Toho soon. Got a tournament there at the end of the month. Yep,
I fished there into January a couple years ago, and that's a pretty cool lake. A lot of it's shallow. There's one deep little hole, but right there by, I'll give you a secret, Rick. I remember this because I was Gerald Swindle, and they're right out from Toyo Marina where the boat launch is. There's a little bowl depression, and Gerald said in Major League Fishing, he took a spinning rod, caught like 100 1-pound bass there. Of course, we tried it. I was in shock. He pulled out a spinning rod, and of course, wasn't nothing there that day. But yeah, look for the depression right in front of the Toho Marina and restaurant. Good breakfast at Toho Marina too, by the way.
Got a friend who fished. I want to say Bass Open there, finished 5th.
Cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. Yep, Indian Rocks Beach. That was it. Yeah, Indian Rocks. Yeah, that was a pretty cool place. Got to stay there for a few days.
Here's another funny story. My buddy in the Army with, he packed up from Ohio. He packed up and moved to Florida. He's a big reader, you know. So he went and he did a Google search for libraries. And he's like, oh, let's go. I'm going to go to the library, check it out. Well, what he didn't realize, it was a library that was on the nudist colony.
Uh-oh. Whoops. That was something unexpected.
I don't know if Rick's talking about the restaurant or the library, but
I think he's talking about Toho. Yeah, Toho. And there's a few brush piles out. It's weird. The brush piles, they got marked, but you can't add brush piles down there. The wildlife will gig you bad, I heard. I had a guide down there. Wife had another seminar, and she said, "You want to drive me?" I said, "If I get to get a fishing guide and go fishing, I will." So she let me. So had a good guide.
Yeah, I did a redfish guide trip, and I was out there, and my wife had a major conference that night. You know,
cool
3-piece suit and all that. You know,
oh yeah.
Up. So I'm out there for a couple hours, and you know, I'm having a blast catching fish. And he says to me, he goes, "Hey, I'm getting ready for a tournament. Do you mind staying out for a couple more hours?" No, go ahead. So we're out there. We pull in about 4:30, 5 o'clock. My dinner's at 7. I've got plenty of time.
Uh-oh.
I have plenty of time to get ready.
Yep.
I got there, man. You know, the only thing you could see, I was red. I was so burnt. It hurt putting clothes on. Oh.
You had the raccoon eyes. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Andrew says it's Club Classics there on Toho next month.
Yeah, that's good. That's an awesome lake. Rick says no to restaurant. Nope. No comment. I'm not comment on that. Not touching that.
Yeah. No. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why Rob and I started this podcast, was to have fun and talk fishing.
Oh, yeah, man. It's been a blast. Like I said, we learn a lot, especially you guys. Hey, we learn from you guys as much as we have guests on the shares. And we like to have a variety of guests, and it's pretty cool. But
yeah.
And this is usually part where we kind of talk sponsors, and we usually don't do that. But I'm gonna give a plug out for a couple of things that I've had happen. Well, one, Pulse Lures we had a guest, Todd Goad. He owns Pulse Lures. Yep. Actually got on with him. I'll get some lures pretty soon from them and give them a try. So stoked about that. And just want to share an experience with you guys, and that God has a plan. Sometimes you don't know what it is. But I'll kind of share what happened to me. I was losing my job actually this week. And, of course, I had the world on my shoulders. I was worried, stressed. And I kept hearing, hey, have faith. So I did. And I applied for a job, my dream job, one I've wanted. It rarely has an opening. So I applied Monday night late, sent my resume, updated my resume, sent it. Tuesday, I get a reply. And the vice president of the company calls and says, hey, let's do an interview Wednesday. So application in late Monday, call Tuesday, interviewed Wednesday. Interview went good, went great company, family-owned company. And then Friday, I'll take off Friday. I got floating holidays, so I had to burn it up. And I'm mowing the yard. I missed a call. It's him calling, but he sent me an email, job offer. So I had application, interview, and a job offer all in the same week. Never happened in 55 years I've been on this earth. So,
congratulations, you know, and
I
like to say, all joking aside, but I am going to make a joke about that.
Yeah, you can, man. It's all good.
I know it is. I was when I was down there visiting my brother down in Florida, I didn't realize how many jobs you can go in and get paid the same day.
Yeah.
But no, Rob texted me, him and I talked through the whole thing, and truly blessed. We're very surprised. We're awesome,
Yeah, and it happened like my last day of my job I'm at now is tomorrow, and I start my job Thursday. So I got one day to the next. Old job, new job. So, but I'll let you know. It's I don't know if you heard it. It's the nation's biggest wholesaler of bass tackle, Pittman Creek. So they supply Cabela's, Bass Pro, bunch of the big box stores and little mom and pop places, coast to coast. They're a wholesaler, so they supply tackle shops and whatnot. Family owned company out here in Kentucky, not far from my house. So just blessed beyond all measure. But I know Andrew and Rick and Joseph. Man, thanks, man. I'm still blown away, man. When I walk in there Thursday for my first day, I'm gonna be blown away.
There you go. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to a good buddy of mine, John with Star Lures.
Yep.
I called him or contacted him on Facebook. It's you can check his web or his Facebook page out. But I asked for a specific color, and I can't believe I'm doing this to you guys, man.
He's letting the juice out, guys. He's letting the cat out of the bag.
All right, it's if you check his color out, it's like a natural shad with a really
just a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, it's like a two-tone too, ain't it?
And I talked to him, and he's actually calling it the JCX natural shad color. So,
cool.
Now that looks like it might catch some fish up here on a Carolina rig. Might have to put that on a combat jig as a trailer.
Yeah, that'd be a good swim jig trailer. That would be.
Might
even chatterbait or a swim jig.
Oh yeah, and I got the chatterbait trailers for it too.
Cool.
Might send one of those to Mr. Jim Sperone, owner of Wicked Weights. I do a lot of work with him, not as much as I'd like to, but
Jim's good people. Jim is good people.
If I had any extra of Wicked Weights, I could more than welcome to send them some.
Oh yeah, I got a few. I need a few more. I need a few more.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Hey, Andrew, I got to hook myself up first now, but yeah, thanks, man. I mean, it's a blessing.
It is.
Absolutely, Rick. I know I had John and a few other guys, close friends, is praying, and it definitely works because I said everything lined up in that last week. It's definitely a God thing. That was a God's plan, brother. That's all I can say. I'm blown away.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me. I got let go. I was working for Corning Glass. Good job, Monday through Friday. Got let go, and down the dumps about it. Called my wife. Hey, they let me go, and all of a sudden, a little bit later, I applied for a job where I'm at now, and I told her,
meant to be.
I said my last days here is going to be my first day in the casket.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, God has a plan. We don't always see it.
Yep.
But just got to keep the faith, and even though it's not easy.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I had to weigh it over my shoulders, and just like that, it was just gone. So it's great. I said I'm looking forward to it, and I said I told him in the interview, I said this is my retirement job. I'm gonna be here 10, 15, 20 years till you push me out with a stick. So
there you go.
Absolutely.
And I know a cold tag company if you need something.
Oh yeah. I got a couple sets. Yeah, Andrew, you good, brother? You good, man?
Hey, did Andrew tell us what his favorite cookie was?
Yep, old-fashioned chocolate chip like mine. So he's my boy. That's my boy right there.
Oh, Rick Amato didn't.
I know he
said he had peanut butter earlier.
Yeah, he had peanut butter started the show. So
yeah,
but they're all good. They're all good.
Oh yeah, look, it just like everything else. If you enjoy it, it's good.
Absolutely.
All right. So, any more shout outs you got?
No, I just wanted to do a couple and just tell everybody, hey, I've been in worse spots, and you just got to dig yourself out and have faith. I mean, it tested mine, and I come out on top. So it happens. Hey guys, keep faith. Have the faith. Keep faith. Faith. What's that? I got a T-shirt that says "Faith over fear." So that's fitting for times we in these days. Seems like
it is, but it's easier to take the negative route than to have the faith route.
Yep, it is. But
especially in today's society.
Oh yeah, it is. But that's how we. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I know you was praying and y'all was using. Mom was in your thoughts and prayers. You and Constance, so I appreciate it, guys. And we try to just keep it light here, guys. We avoid controversy. We have a lot of fun, so that's what we do here. So we enjoy all you guys, especially guys that tune in every day, every week. So words can't express how much we appreciate you guys.
Yes, and tomorrow's guest, I double checked. I got the show lined up. It's all straightened around. It's Travis Birch with the Lady Bass Anglers Association. So,
and the World Fishing Tour. Yep.
And the World Fishing Tour, and
I like that shirt, Rick. I like it. There you go. I'm down. I'm down with you.
I got a buddy who says your emergency does not constitute one on mine. One for me.
Yep. Yeah, I've worked at places like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Been there, done that.
All right, so here we go again, Rob. Y'all have a good night. Take care. God bless.
And we'll see you tomorrow night. Let's say make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow night. We appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Y'all rock. Peace out.